There are a lot of issues with sports bikes. They aren't comfortable, good for touring, or even great as a commuter. But when it comes to visual appeal, thrill, aspiration, and performance, nothing comes close to a sports bike. No wonder then growing up, we all had our personal leader-class superbikes, the posters of which adorned our walls, and for the current generation, it's on their mobile screen. What we have with us today is the latest sports bike to enter the Indian market, the Aprilia RS457. So let's put this new kid on the block through the grueling Acko Drive 500km non-stop test to find out what works in its favor and what doesn't. We had to start this video with performance because this 457cc parallel twin engine is a proper gem. It features a 270-degree crank, which means the torque spread is generous and delicious like a proper peanut butter sandwich. The low-end torque means that the engine is very tractable, and this makes the RS457 very easy to ride in the city. But heck, did you buy the RS457 for riding in the city or for commuting? I'm pretty sure you're going to buy this motorcycle for performance, and that thrill can be easily felt the moment you go hard on the throttle. The low-end torque means it shoots off the line with vigor, and the acceleration is very quick. The power band kicks in after 5000 RPM when the engine really begins to sing, and triple-digit speeds are reached in a jiffy. Given the taller 6th gear, if you find a clean and long patch of road, the RS457 can manage to cross a speedo indicated 200 km per hour. Now that's properly fast. So you guys got a gist of the performance, but what if I told you that this engine is good for touring as well? Surprising, right? But then again, it's a parallel twin engine, so that it has loads of refinement. In fact, you can do speeds around 130 kph rather easily, and there's hardly any vibrations on this motorcycle. You only feel a bit of vibes at the foot pegs when you cross 7000 RPM. Now coming to the gearbox, it has a 6-speed gearbox and the gear shifts are properly precise. In fact, when you downshift, it makes a nice noise. It feels like you're cocking a gun. So this motorcycle has loads of good performance, and again the clutch action is very light, so even when you want to ride in the city, it's a very good commuter as well. However, the lack of a standard quick shifter is a bummer, given its ballistic performance. Another bit of worrisome is the heat from the engine. Agreed, there was a heat wave when the bike was tested, but it is the way the air is directed that makes the frame very hot. Fuel efficiency and performance bikes aren't the best of friends, but then again, these numbers do matter to the buyer. Let me be clear, the numbers that we have achieved is probably the worst that one can expect from the RS457. During our city run, the Aprilia delivered 23 km per liter, which honestly is very good for a bike of this displacement and power. On the highway, the number fluctuates based on the speeds you carry, as when ridden at 140 km per hour, the figure dropped to around 20 km per liter. The real downfall is witnessed when you ride the bike on mountain twisties and push it very hard. The RS457 delivered a measly 17 km per liter. As I mentioned before, these numbers are with the bike ridden hard. With normal speeds, the Aprilia RS457 can deliver between 25 to 28 km per liter. The thrilling performance is aptly complemented with brilliant handling dynamics courtesy Aprilia's years of racing experience. The RS547 employs a twin-spar aluminium frame, the construction of which is similar to the RS V4 superbike. And my god, what a beautiful piece of engineering it is. Apart from being lighter than a steel frame, the aluminum frame also offers you a lot of flex, which means the handling of this motorcycle is absolutely brilliant. No wonder then MotoGP bikes still are using aluminum frame. On the mountain twisties, the handling of the Aprilia is just sublime. Just focus on the line that you want to take and it obeys your command to the T. The handling is almost telepathic and there was a wide grin on my face while attacking corners at high speeds. Apart from the frame, the TVS tires also deserve their due credit for the leech-like grip they offer. And this agility shines through in city commutes as well. You can easily cut your way through traffic as the front end feels so light. The only concern is while taking U-turn as your hands brush against the frame and this takes getting used to. The other bit of concern is the front brake. During the first ride, the lever came in at the racetrack, but the BDI unit that we had felt better in this regard. We aren't sure, but it seems Aprilia fitted them with sintered pads and this has significantly improved the braking performance. Having said that, given the performance of the motorcycle, a bit of more bite would have been welcome. As you can see, the handling of the RS457 is sublime and it's a proper track tool as Jihan found out during the first ride of this motorcycle at the Curry racetrack. So if you're looking for a learner bike that will help you learn the art of fast cornering, the Italian is up to the task as a proper track tool. So let's check out the ergonomics of the Aprilia RS457. And first up is the seat height. As you can see, I can clearly flat foot on this motorcycle. So the seat height isn't bothersome for me. I am 5'10" and weigh around 100 kg. Now let's move on to the riding triangle. It gets a proper clip-on handlebar and rear set and high set foot pegs because it's a sports bike. So the riding posture, as you can see, is very committed and very sporty, just like a proper sports bike. The clip-on handlebar isn't too low set, so in terms of grabbing it, it feels nice, but the rear foot peg is high set, which means it loads up your body and you lean forward. So when you're riding for longer distance, it loads up your upper body and that can be a bit bothersome. The other issue is the fuel tank. The fuel tank shape is very nice to hold, but the material is very slippery, so you'll have to use some kind of storm grips to get a good grip over here. In terms of the rider seat, there is a lot of space, but that's not the same case for the pillion. The pillion seat is very small and the grab rail is almost useless. So in terms of ergonomics, it's properly sporty like a proper sports bike. One more issue is the shape of the fuel tank. So when you're taking a U-turn, your hand kind of rubs against the fuel tank and you're not able to complete the turn. As you can see, my hand is touching over here. If I remove my hand, you can see there is still more movement when you want to take the U-turn. So while taking U-turns on the RS457, you need to be a bit careful. Next up is ride quality, and that brilliant handling dynamics does affect comfort. The ride quality is between firm and stiff, and it changes depending on undulations and bumps. The front is still fine, but the rear is stiff, and you feel all the jolts on your back. Now on a normal motorcycle, this would have been a pain point, but given its thrilling performance, the RS457 covers up for the slightly uncomfortable ride. And then again, you don't buy a super sport for touring, right? The Aprilia RS457 is loaded with a lot of electronics for a bike from this segment. First up, there are 3 riding modes and various traction control settings. The above can easily be tuned via switch cubes and a crisp TFT display. My preferred ride mode was Sport, as the bike felt the most natural and fun in this setting. Also, the RS457 feels livelier when the TC is set at 1 or off, as the rider has better control and throttle response is on point. For riders with less experience, TC2 is fine as TC3 is very intrusive. and chops power very abruptly, thereby affecting the riding experience. There's also a dedicated Aprilia app through which riders can access a lot more information. Aprilia also has introduced a wide range of accessories for the RS457. While some of them are priced well, a lot of them will empty your wallet in a jiffy. You can check out the accessories and their cost on your screen. Among the above accessories, my personal pick will be the bi-directional quick shifter, as given the performance, you really don't miss it, and maybe the taller windscreen. According to our sources, the high price point for the accessories is because they are getting imported directly from Europe and also attract a lot of taxes. What do you guys think about the pricing and the accessories? Do let us know in the comments. So let's talk value. At 4,10,000 rupees ex-showroom, the Aprilia RS457 isn't affordable by any means, especially when you compare it to rivals such as the KTM RC390 and the TVS Apache RR310. But one shouldn't forget that this is a twin-cylinder motorcycle. And when you compare it to rivals such as the Yamaha R3 and the Kawasaki Ninja 500, it does offer you good value by twin-cylinder standards. It's time for a verdict and let's cut the cheese. The Aprilia RS457 is a bloody impressive motorcycle. In terms of styling, it looks the part. It has a proper sporty styling and also the visual appeal is on point. The other thing is the dimension of this motorcycle. It doesn't look like a 450cc bike but looks more like a 600cc superbike, which is a good thing. The other concern that I had on this motorcycle was the quality levels and fit and finish, because this is the first motorcycle to be manufactured by Aprilia in India. But I'm very happy to report that all the quality levels, the fit and finish of this motorcycle is properly premium. Second thing is that engine. The engine is properly versatile. It can do commuting, it can do touring, and more importantly, it has the proper thrilling performance. Next up is the handling. Again, is up to the mark over there. It is very fun to ride this motorcycle. It isn't very intimidating, so even if you are a novice rider, you will feel comfortable with the handling dynamics of this motorcycle. Having said that, there are few areas of concern. First thing is the reliability of this motorcycle in the long run, because again, first motorcycle to be built by Aprilia in India, so we have to check the reliability because this is an all-new platform. Second thing is that the after sales and spare part costs will be higher because the accessory costs are high. So it won't be as affordable to run as the KTM RC390. So if you have a budget of 5 lakh rupees and are looking for a sports bike, I say just go for the Aprilia RS457. It's that bloody good.